Can you hear us on Zoom?
I got thumbs up from.
Yep, we can hear you.
Great, thank you. All right, we're gonna start with introductions in the room. If you're on Zoom, could you please do your intro in the chat for me, so I have those notes? That'd be great. And we'll start with Ransom.
Phil Booth, Thunder River Fire Department.
Carolyn Dahlberg, Toby.
Craig Rankin, Deschutes County Road Firewise Community.
Natalie Kuntz, Assistant Fire Management Officer, Deschutes National Forest.
Kyle Collins, Deschutes County Planning.
Sherry Mullen, Wedgie Creek Homeowners Association Firewise. Heather Miller, Oregon State Fire Marshal.
Dean Richardson, Upper Deschutes River Communities.
Austin Reimer, Stewardship Forester, Oregon Department of Forestry. Kevin Moriarty, County Forester.
And Heiner, Fire Adaptive Community Coordinator. All right, you wanna do some announcements about the grants?
Sure, so let's see, we can get into the dumpster rental program is going pretty well. We had 18 communities sign up for that. Using Republic and Cascade with agreements with both of those. So far, so good. We'll see once people start getting their dumpsters, but haven't had any issues so far on that, so that's going well. Our BLM Community Assistance Grant has now closed. And that was a funding of $90,000 for fuel reduction services. We had 17 applicants, and we're kind of going through the review process right now. So we put a review team together with Oregon State Fire Marshal, Oregon Department of Forestry, Southern Deschutes Watershed Council, and then Deschutes County. So we'll be reviewing those applications this week, hopefully with having decisions by the end of the month. And then for the fire fuel reduction grant we had last fall, those reports are going to be due June 30th. So I did send out a link to all the point of contacts for that grant. I'm going to need a narrative, a budget, invoices, and any photos that you have. So the form is pretty much identical to the form we did on the last grant, but let me know if you have any questions on that. And that's what I have for grant stuff.
Right, and then we also have Fire Free coming up. Dates are at the Not Landfill, starts May 3rd, and it goes through the 12th. And at the transfer station, so Sisters Transfer Station, Redmond and Lapine are going to be starting March 31st and going through, I'm sorry, May 31st and going through June 8th. And then, so our June Project Wildfire meeting is gonna be a barbecue. We're having that at the Sun River, the Sun River, Shark.
Yeah, sure.
Little event that we're doing outside. We'll have some really good barbecue food, and Emily Curtis is helping by bringing us some lawn games. And we're also going to do a couple of recognition awards for communities who accomplished a lot. And that should be really fun.
Yeah, we have what, like 70 people signed up already?
I think like 76.
Yeah.
Of RSVP'd. So yes, if you haven't RSVP'd yet, I'll send out the form again, but it was in, I sent out a mass Project Wildfire email through constant contact for people to fill out that form. So if you haven't done it yet, please do. If you want to attend, I can do the RSVP numbers of people because we're getting catered. So we're trying to get an accurate number there. And then I think those are the two announcements that I had. And so today, Robert Newey was going to do an update for us on Newberry Spring burning and a new project west of Lapine. He had a conflict with the meeting last minute, so he sent Natalie, and she's gonna give us this update today. So I don't know, did you have any slides or anything?
I did, and I can just share my screen.
Perfect.
I got everything pulled up, I think, that I need.
Yep.
Okay, so let me try this. I'm a Teams person, so
Okay.
Zoom is not super familiar. Oh, okay, yeah. Where do you, I'll just start with the spring underburning then. So good morning, everybody. Natalie Kuntz. I work here on the Deschutes as an assistant fire management officer. So we have a lot on our docket for this spring, including a West Bend smoke pilot project that is nationally recognized. So we have members from multiple agencies, DEQ, EPA, just kind of doing some studying and some monitoring of smoke. And this will be primarily kind of focused in West Bend. And they're gonna be just looking at smoke effects during spring underburn season and wildfire season. So a lot of our focus has been on West Bend, and we'll just start there. Our first project that we'll likely do is going to be this Taylor Northwest here. That's a private burn that we have an agreement. So, and that will likely dry out first. For some reason, it's kind of on the fringe of the sagebrush steppe, kind of to the north. So it'll dry out faster. So we're looking to start there in the West Bend area first. And then after that priority, we'll be looking at, sorry, give it a minute to populate. We'll be looking at the Big Eddy area here, just west of Deschutes River Wood and the inn at the 7th Mountain, that's right there. So looking to get this Big Eddy block first, and then this Tiddlywink stuff here. Sorry. Yeah, that's the name of the trail. And then also looking at finishing off some of these areas around Welcome Station. And let me just take you over to another map. So you can kind of see the continuity of what we're trying to do here in West Bend. So in the red here, that's stuff that we've already burned. And then the orange is the stuff that we're hoping to accomplish this spring in West Bend. And with this smoke pilot project, they're gonna be seeing how many days of ignitions, like if we can get multiple days of ignitions, like back to back, and kind of monitoring the smoke effects to the community. So you're likely to see more burning done in West Bend this year than in years past. Just because we're hoping to have less constraints with smoke in the state. Normally, we're able to just do 200 or 300 acres in West Bend a year. And we're looking to do, 1,000 to 2,000 acres.
I have a question. I'm just wondering, during this time of the year, what's the most likely wind direction for this, or does it?
Like last spring, it was southerly, but it's gonna be west, most of our winds are west.
From the west?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like this time of year it's more southwest.
And
And normally, like, we're looking for like really special wind days to burn in West Bend, and then, days where there's good ventilation and convection.
And then also you start from the top, like you got consecutive areas, or do you start from the top and work down, or do you sporadically hit different areas through there?
Well, we're gonna start with Big Eddy. Let me switch my screen back.
Okay.
Just because that's been on our books for a while. that one's kind of lingering out there. And then it also is more strategic as far as, protecting the community and the Deschutes River Woods in the Inn at the Seventh Mountain. Whereas you go north here and a lot of these, we've already burned. Like, a lot of this is burned already. So we're, there's a fuel break there, but we're hoping to take the fuel break south, to give it some more continuity. And then obviously coming and getting the welcome station and Tiddlywink stuff to kind of bolster that fuel break. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Continuing on, so yeah, that's kind of the West Bend project. Any questions on that?
One in the chat.
That was some of the area
Yeah,
that
if you
burned
could-
in the Aubrey Hall fire. Near the end of the seventh.
No, that was not.
No, that's
Aubrey
Tether Road.
Hall's
That's the
just,
community of Tether Road is the old.
Yeah, that's kind of like the edge of the forest land, right on the forest land border. The lodge. It's kind of just west of the lodge.
I know it came.
Robert Newey, Division of Management.
Sort of jumped over.
Can I,
Okay.
really
of West Lapine.
monitor the chat for me? Cause I'm not seeing it in
That's
my.
west to you, right? Yeah, so that's good.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
So look here.
Asking when is it to?
When will we start burning? That is very weather dependent. We're hoping next week. Got a bit more rain than we anticipated last weekend. But yeah, hopefully next week. And that, that can continue all the way through June. I know last year, our last burn operation was June 14th. So it is very much weather dependent.
Natalie, do you have any idea on the closures out there, what that might look like as far as the
Yeah.
station? Maybe. Halton Road.
Will not be closing Conklin Road. We will be setting up a pilot car operation when we're burning in this Big Eddie Tiddlywinks area. And then we will be having trail closures. As far as closing the welcome station itself, I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I think we'll probably have a lot of public information officers there. And that will be somewhat of a post for information for people. Additionally, there's the Rappel Academy that's happening. And that, I believe that's in Tiddlywinks Unit 2 or 3. So a lot of action between the smoke pilot operations, prescribed fire, and then repelling. But yeah, these trails will be closed based on where they're burning. And I would expect the trail closures to be in place like 3 to 5 days after we burn. Any questions on that before I move on to the burning in the south? And I don't see the chat again.
Okay.
Can you give me a hoot?
Yeah, well,
Okay, great. Thank
For
you.
a second, I thought that was Beverly. but It's not. Yeah.
He dropped a pin and said, tell me if I.
Got some chatter. I know I'm trying. All right, so moving south, down the 97 corridor. So in general, we'll do a lot of our spring operations in the 97 corridor in South County. And that's just because we can concentrate our efforts in one area, and then having to patrol and monitor it is a little easier when it's closer than, say, if we went all the way out east by Pine Mountain. So our next project area is the Rocket area. And we did a pretty good campaign in there last spring. And I'll just show you real quick on my other map. What we're looking at here, and this This map here is public facing, it's Central Oregon Fire. So whenever you have any questions or concerns, you can go on here and you can see where we're working. It'll be lit up red if we're gonna be burning it or if it is burning. But this map here is one that's kind of internal. But it's pretty handy because it shows you what we've already burned in the past. And kind of the continuity of our operations and of our fuels treatment. So this area here is Rocket. And it's just east of Sun River, as you can see. Oh, disregard, there it is. A little bit of a lag, I apologize. East of Sun River. So what you see in red is what we burned last year. I think it's close to 1,000 acres. So we'll be finishing off this stuff here. And then maybe looking at this 97 corridor as well. So yeah, this Rocket area. And then if you go off to the west, you can see what we did here. It's in the Ann's Butte project area. We blocked that out, did some good work around this subdivision here. Up to the north, we got the West Maintenance. We will be burning a couple units in here with the cows, which is a wildfire preparedness camp, and then with a fire and investigator 210 class. So you might see some activity here as well. Any questions on the stuff east and west of Sun River?
I got a question. The red stuff that you said that you
Yep.
just did, was that just last year or was it the last 5 years or?
So this stuff here in Rocket, we did last year.
Okay,
We did Ann's Butte right here last year as well. And gosh, this stuff, all what you see here is in the last like 10 years. But this stuff here is in the last 5 years at least.
Good.
But yeah, this area in particular here is last spring.
Cool map.
Yeah, isn't that good? I thought this one was handy. I didn't make it. It was my counterpart. He's a really good map maker. All right, moving down to further to the south here, just east of Lapine. We've got the Odin unit, so this is Paulina Lake Road. So we got Odin and Thor. This stuff here that I'm pointing at in the red is stuff we accomplished last spring as well. So getting a good fuel break, good access egress along the 22 road. And so we're gonna continue to burn here in Odin. And then if we accomplish this spring, we're hopefully looking to move farther to the north in this Thor project area, tying it into the old McKay fire from 2017. So pretty, trying to get continuity there in our field breaks. And as far as burning in South County or Deschutes County, that's basically what we have. We've got some other projects further out to the east. I'll just show you real quickly. Kind of lower priority for the spring. We really like to focus in on the urban interface this time of the year and save these units out east for the fall. Just when we get more of a season ending event, we don't have to worry about trying to come out here and manage our fire suppression efforts with our prescribed fire patrol and monitoring. So we got Pine Mountain here. This is a new project area. We haven't put any fire on it, but we're hoping to do it this fall likely. Highway 20 up here, wait, no, that's not. Yep, that is Highway 20. So Highway 20 right here, and then we have the Opine project area and flank. That we can go into this spring. We're potentially looking at going out there, this week. More drying occurs out there and we can usually go out here earlier and do something, so, we might be going to flank 1 this week, if conditions are good. And that's, more to get some fire on the landscape, and then, it's good practice for us, kind of knocking the dust off after a long winter. Before we go over to West Bend. Any questions on the prescribed fire stuff for this spring before I move on to the boundary project?
There's something on there.
Oh. There's my chat. I was,
Ken said, do you see it?
yeah, I see it now. Soon as who would I contact at the Forest Service to see what plans they have for burning west of Lapine? I am at Wild River by Pringle Falls, and west of our development is a real hazard. So Ken, we don't have anything planned to burn there this spring. We do have a project west of Lapine that I'll touch on here shortly. If that helps, and that's in the planning process and little ways out.
Yeah, because west of our development, it's very thick. The lodge poles, you can't even walk in through there. It's so thick, and a lot of our residents, because that borders our entire western development there, are concerned that if there's a fire, that's the way the wind blows, and it's going to blow it right over our development.
Okay. I can touch on, after I'm done with these questions, I can touch on our boundary road CE. And discuss that. Are you off of Burgess Road then?
Yeah, we're right on Burgess.
Okay, yeah, this project's off of Burgess Road, so. Yeah, let me finish these questions and then we'll dive into that project.
Thanks.
Under what conditions will you not burn this year? I think you mentioned there will be a little more leeway regarding smoke this year. Wonder what conditions. Yes, we are gonna burn in optimal ventilation conditions, where we have high mixing heights, and winds that are forecasted to blow smoke away from Bend. However, we are under, diurnal wind influences where smoke does like to settle in the Deschutes River, and kind of blow right into town, as some of you all know. So we're fighting that. So obviously, like, the south winds are good because it will push it away from the river. Sometimes we burn under east winds, but found that it still likes to pool in the Deschutes River and then come back into town. Does that answer your question, Robin? Okay, I'll move on.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Oh, yep, and thank you, Emily. Jamie Ollie is a great resource. And we'll always have our announcements on local news channels and Facebook.
Got another question.
Oh, yes.
How many acres are we looking at that you're looking at actually here? But then also depends upon if there's any fires you have to fight that's going to reduce how many of these acres you're going to be doing.
Well,
is that true?
We do balance our prescribed fire workload with suppression, if we're getting a lot of fires, ignitions, like usually human starts during this time of year. We will likely back off. If we are finding that we have a large initial attack load and then our resources are being pulled to that, it does pull away from prescribed fire operations. However, lately we've been utilizing more out of area resources and in other agencies to participate and help with prescribed fire, and that expands our capacity. But it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
And I think last spring we did, 1,200 to 1,500 acres, and a lot of that was in that Rocket and Odin area. We did not get a good window to burn west of Bend last year. So I had to forego it, and just kind of focus on south of Bend. But I mean, as you can see, you know, a lot to be done here west of Bend still. In regards to prescribed fire and protecting the community. So trying to put a focus on that. All right, any other questions? Before I move on, I'm running out of time here and battery, stand by. Okay, so moving on to a new project we have in the planning phase. See, it's like this. Oh, thank you. All right, got the Boundary Road Hazardous Fuels Reduction Project, that's just starting in this planning phase, this fiscal year. So the project area is west of LaPine, adjacent to the Ponderosa Pine subdivision, Wild River subdivision, Day Quarter. It's 6th neighborhood in Dorrance. It's in the wildland urban interface. And its efforts are part of the Central Oregon wildfire crisis landscape. And I'm gonna run through this and then I'll have questions at the end, because I might be able to answer some as I move through. So here we have the vicinity map. Where's my pointer? There it is. So this is the Boundary Road project here in pink. This is Forest Service green. And then the yellow is BLM. So this will help our continuity also with our fuel breaks and our work. Up here to the north, you can see we have my pointer's not showing on this. You guys have a little lazy. Well, okay. Well, up here in the dark green, or the kind of chartreuse, we've got the junction project area that's being implemented right now. We have thinning and mowing that's being completed. And then just south of there in that blue is the Fall River Estates categorical exclusion, hazardous fuels reduction project around the Fall River Estates community. And that's going to give connectivity just here to the south. This is BLM land that's been treated 6 years ago. And then got Oregon State Parks land here, and then this is boundary. So we're looking just to connect this hazardous fuels work and make a larger fuels break. And then also got Ogden out here to the east. That's where we've been burning quite a bit, and then Clone. Just to the north there, that's in the early stages of implementation. And then south of that is Flat and Pink, and that's also being implemented right now. We've had some thinning operations in there starting 2 years ago, so. Kind of overview of the project area. So we're just looking to connect these pieces here. Some work's been done already, but I'll touch on that here in a minute. So wildfire crisis strategy, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar.
On that last page you had up, it showed the road 42.
42 road,
GNA.
yes, sorry,
Also.
I forgot about that one,
And also.
thank you.
And also the Twin project, which is pretty huge.
Twin, yes, thank you. Yes, 42 road, that is another hazardous fuels reduction project. That's a categorical exclusion. It's around 3,000 acres. And that was something we did with ODF, a good neighbor agreement, ended up contracting it out. And that hopefully will be starting to get implemented in fiscal year 26.
It's been signed off on though.
No,
Oh,
yes. But it has not. Hoping to get that signed this fall. They had to redo some heritage surveys, and now we have old growth. New old growth requirements. So more survey. Yes, but thank you for bringing it up. And hopefully Twin will be starting to go into the planning phases here in fiscal year 25.
did you have to like re-engineer that one? I heard that it was. in
42
lim-
road?
It was in the Twin. I heard it was in limbo for a while because there were certain areas. that-
I have not
Yeah.
been part of that project. I know it's difficult because there's wildlife habitat concerns. So,
There's a lot of exposure out there, dispersed camping.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that one just has, it's a bit more complex, so we've been doing the smaller categorical exclusions closer to town. Just because we can get those through faster. But yes, there's a lot of exposure there and risks.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for bringing that one back up. So wildfire crisis strategy, we are part of a national priority landscape. The Central Oregon area. I'm gonna move through that real quick. So we're utilizing a categorical exclusion. And that's just yeah, you can read it here. It's a class of actions that a federal agency has determined to do not individually or cumulatively have a significant effect on the human environment, and there for which neither an environmental assessment nor an EIS is normally required. So we're doing this under the 16 USC categorical exclusion, and that's for insect and disease in the wildland urban interface. So we get a maximum of 3,000 acres to treat in the WUI. Purpose and need. So some of the project area has been treated before. And I think the next slide will show you that in the past 5 to 20 years. And then obviously over time, brush grows, trees grow back. So we need to go in there and maintain it. So we'll be doing a ladder fuel reduction. And then we are looking at doing, yeah, there's overstory lodgepole widths disease and insect infested, sorry, infestations and at the end of their life cycle. And let you guys just read those slides. Do you have any questions? Wait, we're saving those, disregard, okay. Okay, so purpose and need there, yeah, reducing hazardous fuels, promoting resilience landscapes, trying to have more ponderosa pine in that area instead of lodgepole pine, as it's less resistance to fire, insect disease. This is a map of past treatments in this area. And then the new proposed. The new proposed treatments is the stuff in the blue. And so we're looking just to connect our past treatments, which are in the red with the blue, and create bigger burn blocks and a better fuel break for the adjacent community. You can see the subdivision is all along the boundary here.
Is that just west of the Day Road area? Let's see what
Yes,
that.
this is Burgess Road here.
That's what one of the questions was in that area right there where the
Okay,
Wild River.
is this Wild River right here?
Yeah, it's right where the
Okay.
Deschutes River crosses Burgess.
Hey, Ken?
Right, you keep going down Burgess and there's another small development. You see right on the
Oh, yeah,
corner.
right there.
That would be Wild River. We're roughly 300 homes, half of them on east side of the river, half on the west side. And it's the west side that really,
And
every
that
year.
was treated with the Dillman project,
Ah,
probably 10 or 15 years ago. So right now we've got a forest-wide fuels maintenance environmental assessment. It's, I think it's out for scoping right now, but they're hoping to get that signed in the next year. And that work would be included in that EA, so that is in the works, Ken.
okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that
west
was
of our,
under the Dillman and the Upper Deschutes River projects.
great. No, it's good to know. I know west of
Yeah.
our development is a,
The planning process takes a while, but that is in the works with, under the maintenance, the forest-wide maintenance.
okay. Yeah, the east side of our development gets burned every 3 years or so. It's really clean, but then they do have that experimental forest in there.
Yeah, and I think that west side's part of the experimental forest, right?
Yeah, but there's not
I was
nearly,
out there last Friday looking at that area for mowing.
yeah. There's not nearly as much maintenance done on the west side as there is the east.
Yeah, yeah. I can give you guys my contact info after this as well. And I'm really running over time, sorry guys.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
So the proposed action, we're still working on proposed actions, but we're gonna remove small diameter lodgepole that act as ladder fuels. Looking at commercial harvest of overstory lodgepole pine, and that's the stuff I was talking about, being infested with insect and disease, or at the kind of the end of its lifespan, starting to die. So looking at commercially harvesting those, mowing and mastication of small diameter trees and brush, and that would be part of the maintenance. And then pile burning and then under burning. And then we'll have maintenance written in this project as well, so we can go back in there within the next 10 years and treat again, so we don't have to wait on another planning of another project being planned.
In the areas that are dominated by the lodgepole, another reason to remove some of the overstory trees is if you take away the small diameter trees, large overstory trees have a lot of weight up there, but they have a shallow root system. And you've taken away all the trees that
Blow over.
protected them, and then they start tipping over. The first
Absolutely.
windstorm, a whole bunch of them can blow over,
Yeah.
and those, if you save them out, they're still on the ground.
Yeah, and what I've been going out there with our silviculturist and our timber sill person, and what we're seeing in this area that's red is a lot of the overstory is like older lodgepole pine that they did a really good job with, like stand improvement stuff in the past, you know, with different initiatives the Forest Service used to do. But then underneath you're seeing some more like ponderosa pine. So what we're wanting is to have a stand of trees that's this ponderosa pine that has the thick bark and is a bit more resilient to wildfire. Okay, so proposed action and questions. Try to get into the chat here.
So that, was it called Boundary Road? Project. That's gonna be an EA.
The boundary road, this is a CE.
Oh, it's a C.
Yep. Ken's question, is there a Forest Service fire management officer for the Lapine area? Yes, that is, still gonna be part of the Ben Fort Rock Ranger District, and that's Robert Newey. And I'm one of the assistant fire management officers down there, and this is actually a project that I'm working on. But yep, it's under a CE. The forest-wide fuels maintenance is an EA, which requires more analysis, which takes a bit more time. I'm hoping to have this boundary road CE signed this fall.
And would I be able to get your email, Natalie?
I'll just put this in, yeah, and Ken, I was actually out there looking around your neighborhood last Friday. For maintenance, to see what we could do. So feel free to reach out. Any other questions?
Thank you.
So when you mentioned maintenance on it, would that, so you do the CE and then basically the maintenance EA would take care, it would go under that umbrella essentially during the second intrusion?
No, so
Or would it have to be?
actually with this boundary road CE, we pulled units out of the forest-wide maintenance EA. Like these red units we pulled out of the fuels, the forest-wide fuels maintenance EA. But if I were to show you the units that were on the forest fuels maintenance EA, there would be a lot more in this area. You'd see red all around here. And they're having to kind of analyze the effects of maintenance for all of the stuff we've treated in the past. And then when it comes time to go and implement and do that work, we just have to send out our proposal for what we're doing to some specialist. So it in theory will take less time to do that work.
There's not a cookie cutter approach to how long before you re-enter. It depends on the conditions of that area.
It's condition based and it also has some stipulations with brush for wildlife. So there's a matrix that we follow to know when we can go in and re-enter an area, and that also has something to do with like the surrounding area, what's been treated there, like if there's habitat and brush corridors for deer in the surrounding area, and that also affects.
Is that why sometimes if you have the mowing projects, that you do kind of a patchwork kind of a thing?
Yep, absolutely. Yep,
Leave some for critters?
we leave some for the critters. Yep. Yeah. Any other questions? Oops. Okay. Hand it back over to you guys.
Right. So, was there any questions online?
Yeah, I think I got them.
Okay. It's like that's it on questions. Thank you, Natalie, that was awesome, it was a good presentation, nice to know where projects are happening. And so, you ended a little early, but that's okay. We can
Oh, I
go back-
did?
Yeah.
I thought I had 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I'll
Robert
talk
said
all
that.
day.
He had until 9. I gave
Oh,
him
I
until
did?
9,
Okay, I see, I read in the emails 20, 30 minutes, so,
yeah.
I'll talk more.
No worries. But yeah, we can start with, the end of the room. Do you have anything for roundtable?
Nope.
In the 12-day HOA, we had it was the Upper Deschutes Watershed Council came and took a bunch of our junipers out, the big junipers for that project. It was great. And then this year our Firewise rally is gonna be just getting people out there and lopping, call it jump the junipers. We're gonna lop some of the little junipers off and try to get more of those out of there and keep our ponderousas as they are.
Nothing. Nothing for me.
Yeah, a couple things, we've been, doing the workshops, myself and Ariel, Melissa, and, partners from ODF. They've been going really well, DRW was awesome, that's surprising, 38 people showed up to that, which was great. And Three Rivers was awesome as well, we've got a couple more offered. One in Camp Sherman, Thursday, April 25th from 1 to 4, and then, one in Culver on Wednesday, May 15th from 9 to noon. So a couple more opportunities to attend those workshops. Really good feedback on those and good times there. We're also doing wildfire preparedness fairs. We tied in with Sisters Fire with an event that they had, and it's just an opportunity where partners from the Forest Service to emergency management to Red Cross, all the partners come out and do tabling and information for folks. And we will have a couple more of those opportunities coming up. One in Madras on Sunday, April 28th from 1 to 4, and then in Lapine on Saturday, May 11th from 1 to 4, both at the fire stations in those communities. May is Wildfire Awareness Month, so just a heads up for all the good work going on out there. Prep Day is May 4th, so I'm sure a lot of the communities are planning events around that. And then the Central Oregon Home and Garden Show is going to be May 3rd through the 5th at the Expo Center at the fairgrounds. That Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Fire Prevention Co-op will be there with home hardening and defensible space information with the booth. And we're also going to be teaching a 45-minute shortened class around D-space and home hardening each day. So love to see people come to that. And we're hoping to have new fire resistant plant guides available at that event. They are in transit soon, we hope. And then last thing for the state fire marshal, we have our assessment program rolling. Again, if people are interested in getting assessment for free, they can go to OregonDefensiblespace.org and sign up for an assessment, and either a deputy or a local fire department representative will come and do that assessment. And then we have a new defensible space program coordinator, familiar to you all, in Allison Green. She has been our public affairs coordinator and has moved over to the defensible space part of it. So nice to have her back in this space. So I think that's all I have.
Good.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just a couple of quick updates from ODF. We're currently adding a forest resources manager to the Prineville Sisters unit. And that recruitment is out and the application deadline is Friday. So we're hoping to have them on board here pretty soon. And the intent of that position is to kind of add some capacity for coordination with our partners, as well as just more capacity for agency business. The other update, if you or someone you know is interested in any commercial timber harvest, ODF and ODFW is hosting a training for stream surveys. And that's basically derived from the new rules to the Forest Practices Act that came into effect on January 1st. So if you are interested or know of somebody who is interested, reach out to me. We're hoping to have that happening tentatively in early June. That's all I got.
Greg Brandt, Shrewsbury Woods, and it was very nice that Heather had their group for the workshop that we well attended. And about 10 days before that, Melissa Steele had a presentation with there I think it was about 8 other fire organizations that were there, and it was about an hour long. I think we had about 45 people there, just to give them information as to what fire hardening was and all that, and also a little bit of information as to the grant that the fire department has for that's going to be around the Shrewsbury Woods. So it is well presented. So appreciate it very much. Thank you, Heather.
Great. Yeah. Anyone online have a roundtable? You know, Emily.
Sorry, got a little excited. So
Awesome.
I'm Emily Curtis with Discover Your Forest, and I think this pairs really nicely with Natalie's presentation, and great job, by the way. I am working with the Deschutes National Forest to do at least one prescribed fire tour for the public. And that is hopefully going to be at one of those welcome station units if that gets burned this year. And I will be sending out a interest form for people who want to know when that's scheduled. That you probably wouldn't give very much notice, maybe 3 to 5 days. And then of course, conditions change and it might not occur, and that could get changed that morning of the scheduled burn. But I just want to collect folks who might be interested in going out in a 1-hour time slot to see fire operations and learn a little bit more about the fire effects and goals for those units, or for the unit that we're on. So I'll put my email in the chat, and I'll also ask, hopefully Corinne can send out that interest form for me. Hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have that ready. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Melissa.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. I just want to share some events that are coming up in the next few weekends. We have a fire extinguisher training / Firewise event at Bridges HOA here in Bend. So they've chosen the fire extinguisher to be their event topic. So that'll be great. And then we also have another wildfire preparedness and fire extinguisher training for Mountain High HOA coming up on the 18th of May. And then going into June, we'll have Nottingham Square Firewise event. So lots of really good pub ed stuff coming out from these communities, Firewise communities. So thank you for that. And then also I want to give a shout out to Sherry Moen, because she put together the Widgie Creek Community Preparedness Fair we had last week, and we had over 60 people sign in, but not everybody signed in. So it's a huge event. And Jamie Ollie spoke and she did a great job with the upcoming prescribed burning. So thank you, Jamie. And then last but not least, like Greg had mentioned, Deschutes River Woods has now, shown interest on wanting to be a Firewise community. So I feel like I'm done and I can retire. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so much interest. I've been contacted by so many residents and we're going to get the ball rolling on that. So just everybody doing great work. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. All right, do you have any other updates online? Oh, it's like a half an hour.
Hi, this is Audie over at the Sisters Ranger Station. Hold on one second. Let me get everything up and running here. I've got the video trying to start. Okay. So yeah, I just want to first introduce Nate Price. I'll let him tell you a little bit more about himself, but who he will be detailing into the position here.
Hey everyone. Yeah, my name's Nate Price. I'm on a 120-day detail here. So just getting plugged in with Audie and yeah, hope to join these meetings for the next few months. Thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah, and we've got events also that have been on the books for the next few months, but coming up in May, we'll be doing our team teaching in Sisters and trying to get him plugged in where he can. But first, yeah, just getting his feet under him and getting an orientation for the district first. But we'll try to get him plugged into the home and garden show, yeah, team teaching and any of the other events that you guys might have and need some help with. So yeah, it's been really nice getting to work with you guys and good luck this summer and the season and with everything in your future.
Thanks, Audie.
Thank you. Any more updates online? Don't be shy.
Wondering if Robin would want to talk about her event that she had at the library.
Oh, yeah. Robin, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm still on. I'm sorry. I am doing two things at once here. I've got an upcoming HOA board meeting. Yeah, with respect to the Summit West Neighborhood District, for which I'm the emergency preparedness lead. Summit West hosted a wildfire preparedness seminar. And we had 2 sessions, and I really would like to commend all of our fire expert partner agencies and representatives. That includes Heather and Melissa, and yeah, Jamie was there, Miles Filipino, Carrie Carl, folks from the Deschutes County Emergency Services Department. Anyway, it was just a phenomenal event. It was hosted in person at the library, but also via Zoom. We advertised it throughout the 4-city area. So Sisters, Lapine, Bend, Redmond. We had 125 people in total register. I don't have the counts as to how many participated. But yeah, just a great event. We did have a couple tech problems, but we got those worked out and everybody, you know, had to roll with punches, I guess. So hats off again to the presenters.
Thank you. Georgia wrote something in the chat. Bridget Equal Press is completing vacant lot cleanup, approximately 50 vacant lots remaining. all owners are working on, lots of subs are having contractors do the work. We're also preparing for Fire Free, which we can April 20th. Put out there. Or, oh, so you guys must be doing the is that for the sweat equity, Georgia? The dumpsters?
I think you're
Oh, okay.
just preparing for Fire Free.
Oh, okay, no, okay. So they'll be doing a dumpster pickup, 40-yard debris, and also pickup by contractors. Great. Thanks, Georgia. Anyone else have anything to share? Anything else you need to share?
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks Natalie for coming. Really appreciate it. Providing updates. We have Jamie coming on Thursday, right? The neighborhood coalition.
I don't have that agenda up right now.
Okay. But we always have our neighborhood coalition meetings on Thursday, at the road department, where we talk a little bit more in depth on neighborhood communication. Again, you can always reach out to myself or Corinne for any more information, and I think Natalie can put her email and chat too, if you'd like to reach out to her as well, so. Be a little bit early meeting today, but yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know if you have any more questions.
And the coalition meetings at the road department start at 2 on the 3rd Thursday of the month. All right, thanks everyone.
Next month's meeting here.
For Project Wildfire?
For Project Wildfire.
Yes, we'll have one more meeting here, and then the barbecue will be in Sun River for June.
In June.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back here.
So don't show up here in June. Come get some free food.
It's gonna be good too. Thanks, everyone.
Peter.
The time is different too.
Yeah.
Not
it-
barbecue at
evening.
8 o'clock.
No, barbecue at 8:40.